Hello, everybody. Before we start the podcast, I just want to remind you that Must See Audio has a new format. All War Room podcast will be split into two over 2 weeks. If you want the whole podcast in one go, you can sign up to the Patreon. It's as little as $2, as much as $1,000 if you wish. I don't mind. All the tiers do the same thing. Just chuck in a couple of bucks, chuck in $10, chuck in $50. I don't mind. You can have all of the content all early and all full. It just helps me pay for making podcasts, and that's all I really want off you. If you can't do that, if you can't go over to Must See Audio's Patreon, just Google Must See Audio Patreon and you'll find it. If you can't do that, and I completely understand right now if you can't, I would really, really appreciate it if you just shared this podcast. If you enjoy it, then chances are some of your friends will enjoy it. So just share it. You never know. And then the next thing is someone will walk up to you and go, Dave. And you'll go, yeah, I listened to that podcast you shared. And they'll go, oh, right. Did you like it? No, you're weird. You like aliens and stuff. He said, yeah, but it was funny, wasn't it? He'll go, yeah, it was really funny. That Lee guy sounds really handsome. You'll go, yeah, he is really, really handsome. You should follow him on social media at A Total Shunt. What about the other guys? Yeah, well, the other guys, one of them's called Dave. He's got a paranormal channel starting soon. He's really cool. And then there's Ollie. Ollie's got a YouTube channel called Alien Addict that do live streams every Friday. Yeah, it's great. Just fucking share it. And then other people know about us, and the show will get bigger. You'll get better podcasts. I'll get arrogant because people listen to my content. Everybody's happy. Yeah. Anyway, this is going to be the first hour of this podcast. The second hour comes out next week, unless you want to go over to the Patreon, as just said before. Hope you enjoy it. It's about like boogeymen, missing 411, that horrible feeling you get when you go in a dark room and you just want to quickly leave it. I fucking love it. I love doing this podcast, and I hope you love listening to it. Bye-bye.
You don't think StreamYard have got rules like Netflix about sharing, do you?
No, because it's my hardware. It's not StreamYard.
Your hardware.
Yeah,
okay.
But fucking welcome to the podcast eventually. That was a look behind the curtain at clearly how everything's gone fucking wrong with me. I'm usually pretty good as well. I'm usually pretty good that things don't fuck up for me. Like everything's usually pretty solid. And that was a time.
I enjoyed
How are you
it.
both doing?
We had a good conversation behind your back.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't mind.
Yeah, we talked a lot of shit about you.
I'm fucking drinking warm beer as well.
Oh, see, I had time to put mine in the freezer because of the mess.
Well, I've got room in the freezer, but I've got so much food in my freezer. It's almost like I'm taking the piss out of third world countries. But yeah, so no room for beer.
Well, on a fun topic, tomorrow's my birthday.
Is it?
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Yes, thank you.
How many revolutions around the sun are you?
39.
Oof. Oh, well.
I feel like that was sarcasm, Ollie. Oh, you look well.
There's not a grey hair on that mane of yours.
Yeah, my line's mane.
I feel like the thumbnail should be Dave's hair, just for the people that can only get audio, so they actually know what Dave's hair looks like.
Give it a few more. We'll do some of me shirtless. I get the.
Yes,
we should do a shirtless show. You know,
I'm not so sure. Must See Audio OnlyFans, maybe.
Nah, let me get down to that 250 mark. Then I'm good with that. I'll be fine then.
See, I'm like you wouldn't guess it from this, like from the head. But I'm weirdly hairless.
Oh no!
Really?
I think it's hilarious you say that. So, I am also weirdly hairless, except for my chest. So for those who don't know, because they're not watching the video, we're showing chest hair.
Can you see those Are they in HD chest hair?
Oh, that's a fucking rug. That's a rug.
Yeah,
I like
it's
that.
glorious. But like my arms and legs, no hair.
Yeah, no,
Or my back. Yeah, my arms, legs, back, no hair. Chest, hair.
Back hair must be the worst. I think I could put up with pretty much anything, but I'm not sure about fucking back hair.
Dude, in another life when I was doing training with dudes and we were doing things, occasionally like we'd be running through drills and stuff and guys go, I'm gonna strip my shirt. All right, well, you fucking hot. This is what guys do, right? And you just be like, I thought you were gonna take your shirt off and not put a sweater on. I'm like, what the hell? What are you, Armenian? What the fuck?
See, the piece of body hair I do not understand is arsehole hair. You know, what's it there for?
Keep sand out.
Hair. That seems weird.
Everybody grows arsehole hair.
A little bit of arsehole hair.
Dave shaves his arsehole hair.
I wax it. It feels better.
Just thought the title of the show. I wax my arsehole. Do you?
I'm pretty sure we can't do that.
Well, no, you can. I mean, there's salons everywhere. Like they'll do it. They don't care.
Uranus is wax.
Right. Wax Uranus.
I was just prepping. Oh, sorry. Go on, Dave.
No. You're prepping for what?
No. Nothing to do with arsehole hair. I was just prepping for Saturday's interview show. I've just been watching Missing 411.
What'd you think?
I know a little bit about it, obviously, because it's been going for so long. It's fuck me. You want to buy the first volume of his books, £80 now. If you want to get the hard copy of it.
Are you buying them from him?
That was Amazon.
No, do not buy them on Amazon.
Yeah,
you need to go to Can-Am. .US. You need to go to David Paulides' site and buy them there.
Yeah,
they're like $15 on his site.
Oh, right, okay,
that's
cool.
A big difference.
That is a big difference.
I own all of them.
Yeah, I think it's really intriguing. I think this whole idea of people fucking just disappearing is fucking crazy.
What's weird? Sometimes they come back.
Yeah, there was. I didn't get to it on the like watching the episodes of Missing 411. I got it on the. I've seen this one before, or I read it. I can't remember which one, but it was one with the little girl, where a little girl goes missing, turns up on the other side of a mountain, completely naked. Within was it within a few hours or a day?
It was a few hours. It was 12 miles across like a fucking 6,000 or 7,000 foot mountain range. Yeah. That was intraversable, by the way. Like you, not without a shitload of gear. Like you go around these things. You don't go through them or over them. Yeah. It's interesting because I've actually talked to David Paulides on several occasions. He and I were, I mean, people listening will be like, that guy's full of shit. I'm not. We chit-chatted for a while about theories and ideas of what this is. Yeah, it was interesting. He keeps his ideas very close to the vest. And it makes sense. It makes sense because he is literally talking to the victims' families.
Yeah.
He's not going to come there with something to the uninitiated, right? Sounds like fucking nonsense. Unless you've done the research and you understand there's something going on. But
interesting. Just the way people are with him, because I was reading some of the reviews of the book as well, and some people go, but some people go to great lengths to discredit that guy, to the point where one of the reviews of his book was basically a book in itself. And
I've seen those.
Yeah, and I'm not convinced. Don't get me wrong. Book reviews, I realize people do them, but I'm not convinced I trust somebody that will spend, I don't know, a good day putting together a book review to say how much they didn't enjoy something. That seems like a horrendous waste of time. And I'm not completely convinced I trust somebody that wants to waste life like that.
Yeah, I mean, and I, as an author myself, so here's the thing. I've actually been to the Bigfoot Research Center out in Northern California. It's in one of the towns he's talking about. It's in a specific one. I even looked up people that were in the book, sheriff's deputies and things like that, and talked to them. And because it's fucking who I am, right? And something I took away was interesting. So we went to the Bigfoot, and the name of the town, and because this was 5-6 years ago, the name of the little town in California, it's right next to a reservation. He spent a lot of time there. It's a very strange name. But anyway, I went there, and they have a sign on the door. It's like, we're only open very specific hours. But if you're in town just to be here, give us a call. We'll come down. And sure enough, the lady came down. And she was sweet enough to open it, so I bought almost one of every book they had or something. But whatever, it just goes in the library, right? I'll read them at some point. And I read most of them. Some of them are good, some of them are just ridiculous. And the thing I took away from her is David Paulides' books were there, and she clearly did not like him. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I've talked to him. He's very abrasive. Maybe he's different now that his son has passed. His son took his own life.
Oh God!
Yeah.
How old was he?
Early 20s.
Wow.
Yeah. And his son was the one who actually helped him get the first 2 documentaries off the ground. But anyway, so I think he may be different. I haven't talked to him since then. I don't even know how to. I don't even know how to step across that river to do that. You know what I mean? At some point, I'm sure I will. But right now, I'm just trying to let him be. He has his own YouTube channel. He makes videos and stuff. And if you're listening, check it out. You'll see what I mean when he just comes across a little different. But what I got from her, and being an author myself and not an unsuccessful author, you encounter a phenomenon of people, if they're in your genre, topic, or field view, and you are more successful than them, it drives them up the fucking wall. If you're doing research and you're getting shit done, or you are the person who can get the people and know the things and been to the places and you've done the shit, it infuriates people who just talk shit or just sit back or want to but don't have the balls to. It will drive them wild, and that, I think, is 99% of the flack he gets are from people that are in the paranormal field at some point, that see what he's doing, and that, 1, he has market success, he makes money at this. 2, he knows what the fuck he's talking about. He spent incredible amounts of time with actual funding, real funding from Silicon Valley to look into this stuff. And people, it's just jealousy, man. It eats them up, man. It burns people up. I deal with it somewhat in the author world, in the particular genre that I'm currently involved in. I have people that have been writing there for 20 years and they have no commercial success. And I hate that for them. And I'm relatively new in it. Not to toot my horn, but I've had a bit of success. And they're the ones, I know their writing style, or I know that, I've had people that are allegedly my friends leave me shitty reviews and 1-star reviews and make up fake accounts to do the same thing. It's just insane. It's jealousy, man. Just jealousy. But he is an awkward dude. He's difficult to deal with. He's very sharp. So you got to be concise. And if you want to talk to him, believe it or not, just send him an email or message him on Facebook. Dude, he'll answer you. It may take him a while, but he does take time to answer people, especially if it's if you have a real question or an idea, he'll talk to you. He will.
From your conversations with him, I mean, you said he was very watching what words he used.
I didn't say that. I said that he keeps it close to the chest.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I can understand why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Victims' families won't talk to him if he starts spouting out what he thinks.
Yeah.
And I like his approach. He
what
doesn't
do you think
actually
he thinks?
know. I think his answer that he gives is an appropriate one, and I adopt it myself, as he doesn't actually know. And because he doesn't know, he doesn't want to speculate, because life was lost. If you read the reports, really read the reports, these people were fucking eaten.
Yeah, I mean, I got that from the documentary. I mean, you know me, boys. I can't read. Where's Wally?
Yeah.
There's no words to that. But the the one that really kind of resonated with me was the little boy in the documentary that had been taken. He'd been gone for a long time. That they found his top of his skull, with his clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And the father was saying, I could understand if he'd got a hot or something like that, taking his shirt off down the lake.
Yeah.
But he didn't understand why the clothes were there with the skull, which was just the top of the skull. And there was no blood on the clothes whatsoever. The clothes had been eaten, and he was holding them up. He said, "This is from literally insects and what have you, birds taking bits of the
cloth
clothing for nesting."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but there wasn't a mark on those clothes in terms of like blood stains or anything like the shoes. When he said that they'd been taken all up there, if a cat or something had dragged those shoes, would have had scuffs on a bit of muck, anything.
The other thing that's interesting, having some experience hunting in the outdoors and with predators, and in America we have very large predators. If the scent of blood, some of them are called Dave. The only thing that has to worry about me are other humans, and occasionally deer. Well, that's not true. I do have a raffle. Anyway, that doesn't matter. But the fact that the way that the clothes are found, and that's not the only case. If there's blood or scent or sweat or human, especially of younger, just the scent that's on them, predators get a hold of that shit. At the very least, coyotes, depending on the park they're in, wolves, just wild dogs in general, big cats, bears, badgers, skunks. I mean, things will come, and those things are found years later in the exact same place, undisturbed.
Well, Dave, you're a guy. You don't mind me saying this.
I am a man. Yes.
No, you're not. Rich might disagree. You know dogs when it comes to professional dogs.
Yes. Well, I'm not like an expert or anything, but yeah,
like dogs that work at offices and dogs that manage dogs that work in offices and dogs that manage banks. Professional dogs.
I sadly I do know there's some people that would fit that, but no, if you're talking about dogs that like bite ass and sniff drugs and things, yeah.
But the same sort of thing when dogs search out for missing people. Those dogs are professionals. They know exactly what they're doing.
One would say that like scent dogs and cadaver dogs are actually the highest trained dogs, because training an attack dog, it depends on so many different things, because you're asking it to do something almost outside of its nature. Same thing with like drug dogs. I mean, obviously you can, the reward system and they can get them to do it. And if dogs tag you, there's a lot more to it, but like getting them just to like scent dogs, tracking dogs, those are world-class dogs, and it appeals to a lot more people. So there's a lot of talent out there, and the training for those are phenomenal. Those dogs are incredible. Cadaver dogs are phenomenal, because that's really more into the line of the dog, right? Like we're hunting this thing down. Yeah.
I think what I'm asking is
why do they not try?
If an animal had taken a child, would in your opinion, and I know you don't train sniffer dogs to sniff out.
No, I don't do anything like that. No.
Children, anything like that, missing people. But would in your opinion, would you say that those dogs would be able to track if there'd been an attack of an animal?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they would. Like they have different reactions. The handlers know what they're dealing. And even then, like even when a predator attack, like there's still scent, like they're still going to follow the human scent through the predator's musk. It's like, oh, it's a bear. They're not going to fuck. We use dogs to hunt bears. You know, they're still going to go looking. The fact that they just stop is, and see that's one of those key things that if you don't know, you don't know. And that is beyond strange. That is beyond abnormal. You know, it that doesn't happen. You know, lose the scent in the rain or running water or as heavy dew, snowfall. Yeah, okay, that can happen. Something's masking it like smoke. Okay, that can happen. To have clear whatever and you just no, we're gonna lay down. You know, it harkens back to the story I told you guys when I was working with training dudes to do things, and we were in that building and I saw a person and somewhere that they're not supposed to be, and I took these armed men to like after we called out several times, hey, you're not supposed to be here, this is a training environment, we're working dogs, it's dangerous for you. We searched everything, the doors were locked, and we're like, all right, clearly someone either has a key or they found a locked door and or unlocked door and then they locked it. So we went, with teams of armed men with dogs. And the first dog wouldn't go through the hallway and the second dog wouldn't go in the last room. And that was the room I saw someone go into, and not just me, but other people. That's not normal. That's not normal at all. The handlers weren't easy, you know. There's times when dogs don't want to work, you know. They're like, I'm just done working for the day. Okay, well, we're going to stop so something bad doesn't happen. And by bad, I mean the dog fucking bite the wrong person. But
well, you've seen my mum's house, haven't you, Dave? The old Victorian house.
Yeah.
So our late dog. Yeah. Our late
Everybody
dog.
knows Ollie's mom.
Gotta help my mates out. They used to call my mates used to call my mum Randy Rach.
It's obvious why. We all know.
This is true. But I know exactly what you're saying there, Dave, because my dog daren't go down the cellar in that house. Mm-hmm. Which was weird because there was a big freezer full of food down there as well. And I think we kept like things like dog biscuits and all sorts, but he wouldn't go down the cellar. This is a big dog. I don't know if you know what a Weinerarmer is. It was a long-haired Weinerarmer, which is like a German sniffer dog, what have you. But it's big dog. It didn't dare go down the cellar. And that house apparently was haunted. Is haunted. So I know what you're saying there. I do think animals, they have that sense that a lot of humans just don't have.
Yeah. Well, I think humans do. You know, and we've talked about that before. I think most people just ignore it, or it's a weird thing. And I'm about to make fun of all paranormal investigators. Paranormal investigators will go somewhere, they check the magnetic fields, they set up these EM sensors or REM pods or whatever, they're going to act with EM fields, and they know that there's no ambient fields or whatever, and all of a sudden the pod starts going off. Clearly, something is interacting with that. And what do? If it's something real, do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again. What are you doing? What are you really trying to collect? What are you trying to figure out? I find most of these people, for them, it's just a fucking thrill. They don't have a hypothesis. They're not testing anything. They're not working on anything. They're not trying to figure anything out. They don't have an end goal. They're just out for a good time. And in that good time, they don't understand, I don't believe, what they're doing. In fact, if they're making an area worse or better or widening whatever the rift is that these things come through, because encouragement of paranormal activity tends to result in more paranormal activity. You know, I know places that were very mildly haunted that are extremely haunted now after having, you know, all these ridiculous people come through every single weekend. You know, if you're going to do that, go to somewhere that's already really like that. I don't know. That's my soapbox, I guess. I just see so many of these hunters like, oh, you know, we're hunting, we're figuring things out. And the thing that really pisses me off is they always appeal to, like, if you're a family and you're suffering, call us. We're going to help you. What do? They come, they set up cameras, they put out a REM pod, and they, oh, we got good evidence, we'll call you. Gone. Right? And all they did was make shit worse. Consistently. But sorry, I went off on a tangent. Yeah, but to that, I think animals sense things. I think people do too. I just don't think people just aren't in touch with their primitive self enough. You know,
well, something just dawned on me then. If you want to talk about like desensitization to things, or like the very opposite of desensitization to things, we are from the day our parents try to put us in our own room, you know, where or when we start to get old enough where we've seen a few things that have creeped us out and stuff like that. We're told from, I don't know, probably 3? I can't remember when I'd have started saying it to my son. Don't be afraid of the dark. There's nothing to be afraid of.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
So yeah. There's no monsters, nothing under the bed. It's fine. Carry on. Yet, I stand here at the precipice of being a 40-year-old hairy-assed man, still uneasy if I'm in a house completely alone. And the strange thing is, and I never know whether this is tiredness or not. I can go if I'm in the house on my own, I can go to bed. Usually, I go to bed between 10:30 and 11 o'clock, and I'll put headphones on, listen to some fucking ASMR. I'll listen to the fucking Gateway tapes, which is what my current jam is. And I'll fall asleep and everything will be fine with the world. However, if I go to sleep and I go to bed late, I'm in the house all on my own and it's 3 o'clock in the morning, it's a completely different feeling trying to go to sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning. You get a nervous feeling for some reason around that time. But that's with, well, yeah, but this is my point. How come there is something still so deep rooted in us that we can be told by people that essentially from the moment of birth we look at as our single source of truth and fucking sense in the world, they can tell us our entire lives there's nothing to be afraid of the dark. There's no reason to be afraid of the dark. And yet as adults, we're still fucking creeped out by it. That's a natural instinct that regardless of how much positive reinforcement we get from like, I don't get me wrong. Some people have shitty parents. That sucks. Sorry for you guys. But for most of us, that is coming from the people that would like jump in front of a car for us. You know, if there's anybody we can trust, it's our parents most of the time. And yet 40 years later, I still don't believe one of the first things that they said to me.
See, I don't tell my kids that.
You say, fucking run, motherfucker. You feel bad, you disappear.
I'm pretty big on listening to your instincts, right? Like it's a big deal. It's a huge.
I think you're probably right. Yeah, I think that's probably the sensible thing to do.
Yeah, what I try and instill in my kids, and I'm trying not to give personal things away, but what I instill in my kids is that you need to first understand what fear is, right? Fear is a biological gift. All fear is doing is telling you, hey, you need to fucking pay attention. This is a serious moment. You're not registering it for some reason, but it is a serious moment. Okay. Recognize that, internalize it, cast it aside. It's now done. It has served its purpose. The problem is people see fear and they fixate on it. And then they're afraid of their fear and it's fucking circular. It's dumb. Gotta stop. Turn that shit off. All right. What am I supposed to be paying attention to? Something in me said, I need to pay attention. Awesome. I have incredible senses. You have incredible senses. Humans, our senses are phenomenal. Smell, listen, look, are the hair on your body standing up? Is it barometric pressure? Is it electromagnetic static? Your skin can sense all of these things. Your skin can sense changes in humidity and temperature and pressure. Just relax. You know what I mean? Don't get obsessed with the fear. Don't fixate on it. And I think part of that comes from that young age, what you're talking about, as people are inundated and surrounded about it and not taught how to deal with it. It's kind of like adrenaline. Adrenaline is a friend to help you in times of need. But if you're not acclimated to it, you don't know how to respond to it. When it hits you, you're going to freeze or you're going to run, but you're not going to act. These things have to be taught. So that's the big thing for us.
Do you think that there is a confusion with it now because we live in a world where I think we might have mentioned something like this last week or on one of the last podcasts we did, that we live in a world where our sympathetic nervous system is being fucking pounded fucking minute after minute, hour after hour, like scrolling, looking at things that make us feel fucking upset, angry, happy, upset, angry, happy, upset every fucking 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think it makes people like you need to unplug from TV like Ollie does. I actually agree with that. I mostly am. You know, I follow certain news, but it is what it is.
I haven't watched television that's all. I'll watch a film or something with
yeah,
missus,
but not TV.
I haven't watched normal TV. The aerial I don't think is even plugged in.
Yeah.
I think that's key, man. I think that's fucking smart. Yeah. What that is to me, and I've thought this for years, is I think TV is a way to dull your senses and dull your mind. It's putting you in a state of suggestion, so making you suggestible. Like it's like a low form of hypnosis by playing with your endocrine system, right? So it's, you know, this rewards me, this makes me happy, this makes me sad, this makes me scared. And then I get a news blip or a commercial. I'm susceptible now. I'm going to buy these things. And that's like hypnotism, right? You give a shock to the person, you relax them into there. You're basing that you're resetting certain olfactory senses so you can take advantage of them. And yeah, that's all TV's doing. You know, plug that. The thing that I worry about is electric signals like Wi-Fi, different cell phone signals, EM fields. Yeah, this shit unzips things. Not just pants, but like DNA. That bothers me.
Yeah, I often think sometimes about the amount of stuff that must be going through you at any one time. And I've said before, like I don't know if you guys have this sort of thing in the UK. I have it in my house where we have electricity on a key. There's a key meter in my house. So you get it on lots of rental properties, or it can just be a smart way of managing the amount of power you use. But basically, I have a key that I take to a shop, like my corner shop, a supermarket, and I pay. I'll give them like 50 quid. They put £50 worth of electric on the key. Then you put the key in your meter, and it tops up your electricity meter with credit. I don't know if you guys have anything like that in the States.
A prepay system, yeah. They have it in some places in the US. Yeah. Yeah,
right. I despise having money sat anywhere. It's just the idea that a company that's already making millions and millions of pounds, I despise the idea that I might have £20 sat with that company earning them interest on top of what they're already getting. So I constantly run out of electricity and have to go back up to the shop because I never.
That's what happened tonight.
Yeah. But I know I never.
Please run into the shop. I've got a show.
It annoys my dad fucking no end because he's one of those people that he's always got like fucking 60 or 70 quid sat in there because he hates the idea of running out of electricity. I don't care because I keep saying to him, say, look, mate, like if we can't get electricity on the key meter, if that doesn't work, something fucking massive has happened, and getting electricity on the key is the least of our problems. We're getting our food together, we're getting everyone in the same house, and we're probably going to barricade doors at this point. But I know, so obviously, like often I'll run out of electricity. It gives you like one beep now and again. It gives you one beep, and then 20 minutes later it'll run out. So if you miss that one beep, it just happens to you. the reason this is important is that means I frequently either wake up in the morning and need to go and put electricity in, which means I wake up with no electricity in the house, or I come home from work to no electricity in the house. The house feels so different when all of the appliances are off. Like I implore anybody out there just to test it for yourself. Go home, go to your trip switch, flick your trip switch off. So on your main fuse board, turn your fuse board off, and then just go and sit in your living room. Just sit on the floor, sit on your own, and feel how much different your house feels without the sort of like sub audio hum of your fridge or the buzz that comes from your television that you don't notice. It's
glad you said TV.
Strange. What?
So I'm glad you said TV when you said the buzz coming from you.
No. They're batteries, Ollie. You don't need to charge those.
Those are batteries.
Yeah.
Unless it's a wand.
Battery operated.
Wand, I don't know what you're talking about, Ollie. Got something to tell us. Check it out. Just go and for anyone that meditates, that's another good one. If you meditate and you meditate in your house, do that without any electricity in the house and see how much clearer you feel while you're doing it.
I don't know. Just go out in the woods here.
Yeah,
be around thousands of acres of nothing.
Yeah.
No.
But is your mobile phone in your pocket?
No.
Oh, there you go then.
Yeah.
Really out
it's time to unplug. It's time to unplug, man.
I think that is something I need to start trying to move towards. I think is the mobile phone unplugging. I am addicted to checking Twitter. I absolutely. It's the
delete your account.
I should do.
You can't.
I was addicted.
I mean, well, to be perfectly honest, I'm not going to sound like a proper right now. I could quit, but
if you wanted to,
you don't want to.
Well, A, I don't. Yeah, you're probably right. I don't want to. B, it's the look.
Also, I need your support on Twitter because I don't know what I'm doing. This is the
fucking thing. It's difficult doing what we're doing, and if you don't use some sort of social media, and when you're content creating, all you're doing is essentially launching a message in a bottle every week.
Yeah.
If there's not some way to tell people what you're doing and why they should be listening to you, you are probably wasting your time and everybody else is around you.
Lee, I know this is your show, but do you mind if I just...
It's our show. It's our show. This is so much more than me.
I just want to go a little bit back to that, the Missing 411, because I watched that years ago, I think when it first came out, and Dave said you need to watch it before you do Saturday's show. So I watched it, and I must say, really well done. Is Dave freezed? No. But what I found really interesting is that these national parks will not speak about the numbers of people going missing at all.
They're also America's largest federal police force.
National parks?
Park rangers.
That's weird.
They're federally trained law enforcement.
So they know the numbers, Dave, but they won't release.
Dude, there is no one, even in where you live, there is no law enforcement agency in the fucking world that's civilized, at least. You go to third world countries, dude, they track thefts, they track robberies. It's what they do. The analytics are key to where to deploy their people, how to do it. And with parks, they have tons of analytics. When people come, when people leave, when we're renting, when's high season, when's low season, how many people do we need? How do we do staff? How do we regulate our hours? How do we make sure we have enough food? They know all of that. You have to, because they're businesses. The national parks where I live, which are in Tennessee, right next to the Great Smoky Mountain National Park, it's multi-billion-dollar a year industry of tourism. Multi-billion. Shitloads of rangers. I used to know one of the rangers.
So would that be the reason for it? Would it be a
huge one? Yeah.
No, but you're not wanting to scare people away from coming to the parks.
And the other thing is the predation rate does seem to fit in with the natural selection of what you would see in the wild, and it's slim. Deers aren't constantly taken down by bears, but I mean, it happens.
At the end of the doc, it did say in small print writing, we asked, I can't remember which park it was, but they asked for some numbers and they wanted something like 1.8 million for the information.
So he's had people that will pay that for him to get it. They still won't give it to him. They've told him in no uncertain terms, you will never get it. Yeah.
So they won't release the numbers of people going missing.
It's not so much the numbers it's not the numbers of people going missing. I mean, that matters. That's not going to be that big. I think it's good. We can look that up through local law enforcement databases. What you're going to see is it's not just that. What you're going to see if you start getting into the numbers in the case files where it's at, because the case files are going to tell you how many FBI were on scene, how many profilers. Did Quantico send out fucking professional profilers onto this case? Why would they do that? There was one here in middle.
Yeah. What's Quantico?
Quantico is FBI training facility headquarters. Like that's where they're not their headquarters, but it's their main training facility. It's where they keep a lot of their talent and assets, either training other people or being spun up or spinning others up or working. It's a big deal. It's a very big deal. It's where their main facilities for things are, other than like the bureaucratic headquarters in DC. But
I'm glad you asked, Lee. Sometimes I'm just happy being ignorant.
No, I don't mind looking stupid from here.
You don't look stupid. It's a very American thing. But they're FBI profilers for the most part. I could definitely talk a lot of shit about FBI, but their profilers in general are usually very intelligent people, and they're asking the right questions. They're trained to ask the right questions. And it doesn't make sense. So there's the Martin case is unique because David Paulides in the Martin case talks about the one as a girl that went missing on a school trip to the Smoky Mountain National Park. She disappeared during the school trip. The United States Special Forces was involved in the search, as well as the FBI. Girl was not found. Tracks were not found. Now, in these national parks, there is a phenomenon of feral people, wild men and women that do live out there totally off the grid on their fucking own. Absolutely.
Hills of Ice.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, America's a big place. And yeah, there's people out there that everybody's aware that, you know what I mean? That they're deep out there, but they ain't bothering nobody. They're mostly just hermits.
Nice people.
I don't know that they're nice, but they want to be left alone for whatever reason. Maybe they got PTSD. Maybe they're just an ass and they don't like people. Maybe they're just a hermit. I mean, there's always been these people throughout history, like mountain men, right? They just wander off. Same thing with this. Anyway, they sent out Green Berets out of North Carolina. Were on doing training. I think they were doing Robin Sage or something like that. Anyway, they bring out a contingent of them to search for this little girl. They didn't find anything. FBI profiler that was involved in the case was involved with a lot of stuff. And he was really kind of an information stopgap, if you will. Like he was checking everything that came through, passing some things on. And the father still lives in Knoxville. I think he's still alive. And Dave Paulides went and spoke to him. And you can see, I mean, he talks about the interview. So, I mean, everyone can obviously go with that. I'm not trying to rip this guy off or anything. He's definitely done a lot of legwork. And he asked him an interesting thing, what questions have people not asked you? And obviously go check out the answers. It's a very good interview that David Paulides does. He's not sitting down with the dad. He's just recounting the interview he did with the dad. But apparently a humanoid-esque figure was seen carrying something over its shoulder, running along a ridge. And I actually know where that ridge is. I know where the whole location I've been there, except I live close by. But it was definitely interesting. So you got to understand, like my wife and I, we used to really be into backpacking, and like we spent an anniversary off the grid in the mountains for a couple weeks, just us. was wonderful. And then we started having kids, and I happened into missing 411, right? I happened into missing 411. And once I started learning about that, and I thought it was all bullshit, and then I looked into this guy's legitimate, I looked into the stories, looked into the cases, I got his books, and I realized it wasn't. And I just had a baby boy. Suddenly backpacking and camping took a big backseat in our lives. We've only now that my son is bigger, and he's past the particular mark, because whatever these things are, or entity, or whatever this phenomenon is, it prefers to take 2-ish-year-old boys or children that look like boys, right? Like little girls.
Seems to be very, very young or very, very old.
One or the other. Yeah. Predation, right? Mm. And usually of some kind of German descent, or Scandinavian-esque Germanic, Northern European is what these things prefer. So I was just like, fuck that, I'm keeping my kids out. That's how that is. We go back now, like I'm reintroducing them and teaching them to make fire, camp, hunt, track, all that kind of stuff. But I'm always very well armed and very aware, And the biggest thing I took away from those books, if you ever start to get a little disoriented or a little mind fogged, get the fuck out now. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see. Is it lion cats? Is that what they are?
Mountain lions.
Mountain lions. Mm-hmm. Can't see mountain lions, or even they did speculate that some fucking big birds can have the ability.
Like the big birds, like the Thunderbird theory, you couldn't do here where I live.
Yeah, I didn't.
So like where I live, the mountains where I live, so like this Great Smoky Mountain National Park, I believe they say they have more trees in the Great Smoky Mountain National Park than all of Europe.
I was just going to say, I can't see the
it's fucking heavily forested. Like no birds getting through that shit. I don't care how big or small. It's just not.
I can't see a mountain lion caring.
You would see a kill
if
site.
It's male, female, or blonde hair, brown hair, black, white, whatever. Why would it care? It's food.
You'd hear a scream as well. There would be something if you're gonna get attacked by what we know as a predator.
Yeah.
The first like today at work, okay, this might not be considered my natural predator, but I walked out of somebody's house and they had a fucking chihuahua in the next garden, and it barked at me, and my instant reaction was, fuck you, little prick. And like what?
No, go on. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
I was just going to say, you're going to shout. Like, even if something surprises you, it's that that real sort of shock you get where you just go, oh, fuck off. You're going to do something.
Yeah, I was just going to say, would you hear a scream though from a mountain?
Not
lions,
the predator,
tigers?
the person. Yeah,
would you though? Would you?
No, from a person. Like
if he gets the person by the neck.
It's not going to get that right off the bat. Like there's a case in, and you can look it up in Colorado. A guy was attacked by a mountain lion, and he killed it with his bare hands.
Wow.
Yeah. One, he's a bad motherfucker. Straight up. And if you watch the interview with him, you see his girlfriend looking at him like she's going to have all this guy's babies. Like that's how this is going down, as he's describing how he got it in a rear naked chokehold and killed that motherfucker. You're like, whoa. Yeah. But no, you would have a kill site. Big predators, it's going to be blood. It's going to be torn up. It's going to be vicious. There's a really good case David Paulides has. It's in Canada. The guy is the subject, the poor victim, is a man's man. He used to track and tranquilize, tag, and release Siberian tigers by himself in fucking Siberia. Wow. And then he did it with grizzly bears. Like, he makes his own bows and arrows and goes for, 100-mile treks into the wilderness to hunt elk and bring, like, he's that guy, right? He's fine. And he disappeared. He was also the guy who used to train the Royal Canadian Mounted Police search and rescue units. He trained these guys how to find people, and he went missing. And the Royal Canadian Mounted Police went looking for him. They couldn't find any evidence. His friends, who were all like him, which makes sense because when you're in extreme niches like that, you tend to surround yourself with those types of people. I can speak to this. His friends went looking for him, and they ended up finding where he had set up and where he was hunting, and they found his bow sitting against a tree. They found his pack, and then they followed what appeared to be his trail because they found a boot, another boot, his pants, his shirt that was folded on a log. He was walking off into the nothing, slowly stripping. And they're like, this isn't that guy. This isn't exposure. This man has been inside. He's not the guy. He's not the guy. This is a person who could be butt naked and totally survive.
Do you know what else this sounds like? This also sounds like the Davlos Pass incident. Yeah, I know there was some brutal people. Have you heard of that?
Mm-mm.
I'm saying it's Russian. I think I'm saying the word.
What's that, Lee? You broke up a little bit when you said "devil of the." Did you say "devil of the past"?
Davlos Pass.
Davlos Pass.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm pronouncing the first word wrong. Essentially, I'm almost convinced it's in Russia, in Siberia. There was 4 or 5 people on like an expedition, like camping up in the snow. They were all found after they evacuated the tent. The tent was found ripped, and some of them were found naked. One was found. They'd made this. You would love this, Dave. One was found. I think they were naked. They'd made themselves. Yeah, they'd made themselves a burrow out of snow, and they were found in that with their tongue ripped out.
What?
It's fucking wild. But I'm sure they were naked. I'm sure all of them got naked before they were fucking ripped apart by whoever it was. It stands to reason, doesn't it? See, if you had some sort of, like, for want of better words, like because I don't think it would be necessarily psychic, but there's the brain thing, isn't there? Is it mice or is it? This is going to seem really weird to you guys, isn't it? You know, like the big mice begins with R-A-T. Yeah. We can't say that on the Isle of Man. It's bad luck. Really weird superstition. But yeah. And but I'm sure it's them. They have a brain thing which makes them
Zombies,
hyper. Yeah. But the opposite way. It makes them sexually attracted to cat urine.
Oh, so, no, that like half of the planet has.
Yeah. So it makes them go towards cats because then the cats ingest it, and then that's how the parasite gets into the cats.
Yeah, half of people have that parasite. Did you know that parasite actually makes people more attractive? It speeds up their metabolisms, makes them lose weight, makes them actually put off, I believe, pheromone that like attracts the other. They've done massive studies with women. Yeah.
Off to lick my cat.
Off to lift your cat's ass.
I mean, I used to have, when we didn't have kids, we still have the little fuckers. They do dabble around now and again, these 2 cats, but we had them before we had kids. And when we first got them, we got a litter tray. But, you know, when I was cleaning it out, I never wanted to knock one out. I don't get.
You can just breathing it in will catch like the contact.
So breathing it stinks like shit.
Yeah. Well, if you can smell something that smells bad, you're technically tasting it.
Yeah, I say that to my little boy when he farts in front of me. I said, "Can you smell that, Dad?" I says, "Yeah, that's particles of your shit going up my nose." But I don't say shit. Poop.
Eat my shit, Dad.
Father of the year.
Right there. It's interesting. The phenomenon is interesting. I don't know, man. I was asking him some questions that he got kind of testy with me, and that's kind of where we left it. And I got kind of testy back, which is unusual for me. But Yeah. It's, and what I mean by that
questions
is
did you ask?
David Pilates.
Ask.
I want to keep that to myself, man.
Ooh,
That's my
tease.
insight. That's my insight.
Tease like that.
But
Did
I
you ask what I
think
was wearing?
some people,
I mean,
yeah, I think some people are selected for a reason, and there has to be a criteria, right? So it's process of elimination is trying to figure out that criteria. But that was what it was related to.
I'm going to cut to the chase. In your opinion, Dave, do you think whatever it is killing people?